Okay, so now we're going to walk through how you can set up your Google business listing. So my first recommendation is that you want to be using Google Chrome as your browser. It just happens to work a lot easier with a lot of the different Google products because it's a Google product itself. If you don't have that, you can use Firefox or any of the other browsers that you want, but I personally just enjoy using that myself. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a listing from scratch and show you how you're going to do that. You want to ensure that you're logged into your Google account. So I can tell that I'm logged into Google here because you can see my little profile image here and you can see Gmail on my image. So you want to make sure that you're logged into Google. Once you are, we're going to go to our Google business. So we're going to type in google.com/business. And it's going to take you to this screen here. Now don't worry if this looks a little bit different. Google sometimes changes the layout, changes the way that this looks, and that's totally fine. It'll take you to the same place and what you're going to want to do. So first off, what we're going to do, you can click sign in or you can click manage now. Both of them will take you to the same place. So I'm going to click on the manage now, and it will take me to all the business listings that I own. Now, if you don't happen to have a business listing, your screen might look a little bit different and it might be asking you to add your location right away. If you do already own a listing or you own multiple listings, your screen may look somewhat similar to this. So if you're on here and you're seeing what I'm seeing, you're going to want to go to add a location, and we're just going to go add a single location. So again, if you don't have a location, you might end up on this screen here as well too. So we're just going to walk through, and we're going to walk you through the different steps to do that and let you see how this is going to look. So first what we're going to do is we're going to type in the business name. So again, you're going to want to type in the actual legal business name of your company and how you are going to have it show up on Google Maps. So I'm just going to do, as an example, I'm going to do ABC. We're going to say coffee shop. So it's going to give me a couple of options of companies that already exist. So you're going to take a quick look at that. Chances are, if you're creating this business from scratch, you probably won't see it down below, which I don't here. So we're going to go create a business with this name. It's now going to take us to this next stop here, and it's going to ask us just to be able to agree to the following terms of service. Again, it's a good idea for you to read those and read the policy. It's really just talking about the fact that this business falls in line with the terms and service of Google and that you have permission to be able to create this business. We're next going to click that button, and it's going to ask us to choose a category. Now the challenge here is that when it comes to business categories, you have to choose a category that Google has. So Google's always adding additional categories, and sometimes your business may not have a category that suits perfectly, so you just have to pick the best suited category. You can add additional categories, and I'll show you how to do that in the future. So because we're creating a coffee shop, we're going to start typing in coffee, and we can see here that as we start to type, it's going to give us a couple of different options. So you're only going to be able to pick one right now while you're setting up your business to be able to do that. So we're just going to pick the first one, which says coffee shop, and we're going to click next. Then it says, do you want to add a location customers can visit, like a store or office? So this is where you would determine whether or not you're going to have your location show on maps or it's not going to show on maps. So in this case here, we're going to say yes, that we're wanting it to show up on maps. And we'll show you if you wanted to be able to create your business in the future to not show up on maps. So say you've already created it and you've put an address in there, I'll walk you through how you can take out that address. We're going to click next. And now it's going to ask for our address. So we're going to see Canada. It's going to ask for our street address. So we're going to type this in, and I'm just going to do we're going to do Smith Street. We're going to say Mission, and we're going to go BC. Hopefully this will accept it. Perfect. Now it's going to ask you here, so now that we've put in the address, when we first put in the name, it had gone through and it asked us a bunch of address or a bunch of coffee shops that match that name. and we said no, it was none of these. Now what Google's going to do is it's going to go through, okay, now that we've done an address, it's going to walk through all the different addresses and say, do you own any of these ones? Just in case it already has a listing created. And we're going to say that none of these exist. If you happen to have seen one of your businesses here, you would just click on that and that would be able to allow you to do it. So we're going to say none of these are correct. We're going to go next. Now it's going to ask us to say where are we located. So you can actually come in here, take this pin, and you're going to pick where it is that you want it to be. One tip and recommendation here, and I'll go over this again later on in the course, is that say you happen to be located in a mall complex. So if we scroll down a bit here, we're actually able to get into a mall here. So what Google will sometimes do is it'll just place it somewhere randomly in that mall. What I encourage you to do is to actually zoom in and put this little location right where the front of your office or your business is, so that when somebody is going to ask for directions, Google will take them directly to your front door. There's nothing more frustrating than having your Google location take you to the front entrance of a shopping center and then you having to drive around the shopping center to find the business. So the best thing you can do is actually move this and see if you can find exactly where the entrance of your door is. So this is just a fake business that we're creating. So I'm going to pretend that this is where my pointer needs to be. We're going to click next. And it says, do you also serve customers outside of this location? So if you happen to do delivery or you happen to work in other places, you can say yes. In this case, we're going to say no, I don't. And we're going to click next. Now it's going to ask us to put in some company information in here. So it's going to ask us to put in our company phone number, our current website, and if you don't have a website. So if you don't have a website, what I'm going to suggest is that Google does give you the option to create a free website. It's very basic and we're going to go through that more in detail, but I don't recommend clicking on this right now because it's going to take you away from this screen and it's going to take you to go and set up your website right now, which we don't want to do. So if you don't have a website, I'd suggest that you click the I don't need a website. That way you don't get taken to that screen right away and you can always update it. But that's what we're going to do for here right now. And then we're just going to put in a phone number. We're going to do 1-800 222 2222. Again, just to fill this information out. If you had a current URL, you'd put that in here and you'd put your current website. So again, we're going to say I don't need a website and we're going to click next. And now it's going to ask you to be able to create your listing of what you're able to do and how you're able to set this up. So we would click finish, and then what it would do is it would take us to verify our business. It'll do a couple of things. In most cases, it'll actually call your business so that it'll allow you to be able to do a quick verification right there, or it may send you a postcard. They don't do a lot of the postcard sending anymore, but sometimes you'll still get that. I'm not going to click finish on here because this is a fake business. I don't actually want to create it. But I just wanted to walk you through the different steps of how you'd be able to do that. So that's how you're going to go and create your listing from scratch and how you're going to be able to do that. And we're going to go through the next couple of options and ways that you can set up your listing moving forward.